All right, so if you can multiply and add and subtract, you can do what we're doing today. Okay, if you need some help, we do have calculators. All right, so and remember, I'm one of the very few math teachers that will actually make fun of you if you don't use a calculator. Okay, I'm very big on y'all using those things. All right, so kind of piggybacking off of Friday's lesson. All right, we had the distributive property like this. You know, we say 3 times x, we get 3x. 3 times 2 is 6. All right, now, so this is kind of what we did the last time. What's going to be different here is this part today, where it's a binomial and a binomial, okay? And this is using something, I'm going to type this out because my handwriting is atrocious, okay? This is using the double distributive. Okay, and there is another method that I'm going to show you. Some people like the second method, and the second method is kind of easy, and it really helps students that has to like organize their stuff. I usually have about 50-50 in each class. What this is on this double distributive method is basically we're cutting this first one in half. And we're saying this term, we're writing it here, times everything in the back. And this term, writing it right here. And we're multiplying it both times by the same thing. All right. And, you know, we end up getting x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. And we end up, when we combine like terms, this right here. Okay. And that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. It seems odd, and some people have. The big thing is setting it up correctly. I did have one student that actually voiced, "Hey, I think I set this up wrong when we were going over stuff." But the big thing is setting it up. Now, what's going to be different about your notes today and your homework and stuff? There is a your turn on the handout, and that's not the homework this time. Okay. We're going to go over this because it doesn't take that long to go over this lesson. And your homework is actually going to be your practice test because you have a test over stuff on Wednesday. The good thing about having tests so quickly is that you don't have so much material on it at once. Okay. So, you know, you'll practice tests and we'll go over it tomorrow. Things like that. All right. So on number 1 here, if we cut this, we're going to write it like this. I'm going to put an x right here and a plus 2 right here. All right. Then I'm just going to copy down this x plus 5 twice. All right. So now we have 2 different distributive things because that's what's called double meaning 2 distributive. All that kind of good stuff. And we'd sit here and multiply. And then when we combine our like terms, we have x squared plus 7x plus 10. Okay, again, if you can multiply and add and subtract, you can do this. Okay, that's the extent of the mathematical skills you need. Now, the other part is organizing it correctly, and that's going to be the hard thing. All right. Now, I didn't erase this from a while ago, but it looks like I'm about to play tic-tac-toe on number 2, does it not? Okay, so this is the second method, okay, which is just called the table method, okay, because we have a table. All right, Now, what we do here is we're going to take each term of this first parenthesis and write it like this. So x goes here, minus 4 goes here. And the second one I want to do up top, x right here, and a plus 7 right here. Okay, so now what goes on the inside of it is actually what we get when we multiply these things. So x times x is x squared. X times plus 7 is plus 7x. This is minus 4x. And this is minus 28. So some students really like this method because it really helps them organize things. It takes about as much time to set it up as it does the other one. And remember, I'm not really big on how long it takes you to do the problem, as long as you pick the method that works and you understand it. Okay. Now, something that a student one time said when we were doing this years ago, they said, Mr. Jeffries, did you notice this? They said, your like terms are right here in this little diagonal of this table. They said, so unless you really, and they said, I don't really have to rewrite it and then combine like terms. I know that I've just got to combine these two on this diagonal and I'm okay. And I was like, well, does that work for you? They said, yeah. I said, then you go right ahead. Okay, some people have to rewrite it. I don't like making a blanket statement. Okay, y'all know a blanket statement. It just covers everything like a blanket, like a good fuzzy blanket, one of those good fleece ones. Yeah. All right. Now, number 3. This is where some people get tripped up. Notice it's everything in here is squared and there's a minus right there. Okay, this is something we didn't see in Unit 6 before. What this actually is x minus 5 times x minus 5. And that's really the big thing about that. You just write it twice. And then you pick your method. You could pick the table method, you could pick double distributive, and go from there. Okay, like if you're setting it up for double distributive, it would be like this. And if you set it up in the table, wow, that was not good. It goes like so. All right. And either way, you're going to end up with the same answer. X squared minus. All right. So I want to move my face and let y'all be able to see that. Okay. Now, on a lot of these, I can set them up either way. When we go over the your turn part today, if you have a question, you need to tell me which method you're using. That way I can help you out. And, you know, don't be discouraged if you're like, well, Mr. Jeffries, you're not showing my favorite method. Honestly, after now, I'm not going to show any method. I'm actually going to show the part like this right here. This is actually what I'm going to go to, and y'all will have to know which way that you set it up. Okay, so that it's not all that bad. All right. Now, number 7, and see, this is where it stopped a while ago, so hopefully we can keep going this time. And I know on the stuff we're doing together, when you get time to actually use this, you'll be able to. Hopefully, people have made a decision right now. I'm going to use this method, or I'm going to use this method. Okay, you gotta make a decision, and Mr. Jeffries has got to multiply correctly. You got to make a decision and stick with it. Okay, don't be wishy-washy. Now, what's odd is I was never taught either of these methods when I was, way back when we had to do our homework on stone tablets and chisel them in, because I'm old. I use something called the flow method, which is very similar to double distributive. Now, I guarantee you, if I would have been shown the table method first, I probably would have been all over that like a fat kid on a cupcake, because I love being able to set stuff up where I can see it. Okay. That At that point in time in my life, when I was taking algebra and learning this, I love when they're like, okay, here's a handout that's got tables on it for you to use. I was like, yes, because I love the tables. Okay. It made life easier. All right. Now, on the back, these are a binomial times a trinomial. Okay. And I'm just going to write bi times tri, because who's got time to write all the other stuff out? All right. And it's the same process. Okay, you could, if you set up like number 11, I'm going to set up number 11 in double distributive first. Okay, then we got x squared minus 4x plus 5, x squared minus 4x plus 5. Now, if you do a table, it's going to look a little different than before, because now you're going to have your x here, your plus 2 here, and then your other parts would go like so. Okay. And it's just how you operate. So there's no other x cubes. Squared minus 3x plus 10. All right. So, yeah, it's a longer problem. But if you take your time, and you're going to have plenty of time, there's going to be people, even after we get done going over your turn in class, you could possibly be able to do two of your attempts on your two or both your attempts on the practice test before you even leave today. All right. And that's fine. Now, the one thing I did have to change from what the other teacher had, the other teacher only had them getting one chance to do it. And, I don't necessarily like that. I like the fact that y'all can do it here and ask questions, and then sometimes you can go and regroup at home or wherever and do it again. Okay. I like that for y'all. Is that okay? Y'all like that too? Y'all cool with that? Oh yeah. I know some of y'all are, because you're like, I'm not even taking notes now. So yeah, I need that extra time. 10x squared is 14x. 9x squared is 15x. That's 21. All right, so I'll put squares over my squares this time. Yeah. This one right here? This one? What did I move it where? All right, so this is minus 4x plus 2x. So that's negative 4 plus 2. Yeah. No, that's a good question. Hey, I've screwed up tons today, so I'm glad some people are paying attention. Okay. It's still early. I may mess up again here lately or here before the time's over. I'm not infallible. I'm going to mess up a lot. Okay. That's just me being human. All right. Are we good with number 12? We ready to move on? Anybody need some more time? Okay. That's fine. Take your time and you write it down. See, these are the problems like on 11 and 12. Like I would get in a rhythm doing those binomials times a binomial, and then all of a sudden we'd get into these and I'm like, whoa, I would have to really slow down. Because if I didn't, I was going to mess up. All right, you good now? Almost? Yeah. All right. So the last little bit, these special case. All right. So, on number 15, now if I did double distributive, it looked like this. Or if I did table, it would look like this. Now, what's unique about these is this part right here. When you go to combine like terms, what do we notice about these middle terms right here? Say again? Yeah, they'll cancel out. So we have negative 9x plus 9x. So they go away. So we're actually left with this right here. All right. And the way that you can see this is that these are the same terms, different signs. Okay. Like if we were to look at number 16, when I'm saying the same terms, this has a 2x, this has a 2x. This has a 3, this has a 3. And this has a plus, this has a minus. So when we see this, we know that the middle terms will cancel out. All right. So we would have like 4x squared plus 6x minus 6x minus 9. Well, these would go away. And that would be it right there. Okay. And when we get in unit 8, next week, we'll look at these again, just in a different way. Okay. All right, so let me stop recording here. Have a good day and roll tide.